Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Blizz County. This is going to be the follow-up to my 500 sub Q&A video. It's going to be the answer video, actually. But I'd just like to make one little announcement. I'm going to be trying to make some more content for you guys here. I've been a little bit, spotty on that. Quite a bit spotty, actually. Simply because school has started and it's getting pretty... It's always kind of hectic. And, finding time to make videos is getting, it's not nearly as much as it was before, so I'll try my best to make videos every now and again, large chunks of videos for you guys. Like I said, I've been kind of neglecting the channel, and I shouldn't be doing that. But without further ado, it's time to answer some questions that were put on my other video. Alright, so the first question we have here is from IceCubes1323, or 1323 if you want them read out like that, Ice Cubes. It says, "Hey Blizz, I was just wondering how you found out about RimWorld, why you like it, what inspired you doing YouTube videos on it. Also, is that how you started YouTube, this channel, or another?" So I've actually found RimWorld through my buddy FilterSC, who's actually on the suggested channels. He showed me the game, and he's like, "Yeah, the developer tie-in's really cool, and this game's really fun, and you should, do a stream of it," because I was getting into streaming at the time on Twitch. I was streaming Diablo 3 and City Skylines at the time, and he just showed me, RimWorld. I'm like, wow, this is actually a pretty cool game. So I started streaming it on Twitch pretty regularly. And then since I started work in the summer, I moved over to YouTube, made my Alpha 10 Let's Play series. And yeah, I haven't really looked back to streaming at nearly the same rate as I did before, considering I got a lot bigger of a following here, and I like making videos more because they're a lot more flexible in how I can do that. I don't have to stick to a strict, rigid stream schedule. So that's how I really started, playing RimWorld on YouTube. I moved from Twitch, actually. What inspired me doing YouTube videos on it? More just the fact that, I wasn't really, up for streaming at all. I streamed it, I think, 3-4 times a week around during the summer. So it was kind of crazy in that sense. So I just, moved to YouTube on that. Also, is that how you started YouTube? No, it is not. I actually started YouTubing around 2006. Real life friend of mine just started a stupid little variety channel. Just us, pretty much just filming us doing whatever the hell we wanted and showing it to our friends at school. And that got actually kind of popular outside of school as well, which is pretty cool. And that's where I learned how to really edit videos. And yeah, aside from that, that's how I started off in YouTube and all that good stuff. Levi Rapper asks, "Do you know and or are you friends with other YouTubers?" I know FilterSC, who makes educational StarCraft videos. He's actually the one who got me into streaming in general, actually. He got me into streaming, and then he also got me into making YouTube videos. He's been kind of my mentor for that as well, which is pretty cool. I also am friends with some of other YouTubers on Twitter. Notably the Indomitable Fox, who's actually a pretty cool guy on Twitter. I suggest you follow him and check out his channel over there. And actually, Lacuna Gamers is actually, a really cool guy as well. And, I'm chatting with him every now and again. He's also my personal favorite Let's Play channel on YouTube. If I'm ever watching Let's Plays, it's always his stuff. So, if you guys are down and I'm not releasing stuff because of school, go check him out. It's a really good time. So those are the other YouTubers I really, would consider myself, knowing or being friends with. Next question, it's Pierce Byrne asking, "What are your top 5 most underrated games of all time?" And this one's a really hard question. I cannot answer that question simply because I don't know which games are underrated. The only time I'll ever know if a game is underrated is if I, hear people talking, mad smack about a game. And I really don't listen to the public opinion a lot on video games. The only time I'll ever listen to what people have to say about video games is when I'm initially going to buy them. So stuff like, if I look at, Ride to Hell Retribution, no way in hell I'm going to buy that game because it got, critically bashed or whatever. And so that's the only time I'll ever consider critic and people reviews. As soon as it comes to me actually wanting to play the game, I don't really take anyone's opinion into account and say wow, people actually don't like this game when I really do. I don't really have any games like that because I just have games that I like and other people have games that they like. However, I could give you a list of games that I find overrated because, everybody talks about these other games and I can't escape what other people have to say about them. And there's a lot of other, a lot of games like that I don't really like that a lot of other people like. I can make a huge list on that, but that's not what the question asked for. The question asked for underrated games. And one that I hear crop up all the time, people hated it, was actually Mirror's Edge. And I really love that game. They say that the first person platforming was a terrible idea. And I think, well, if you made it third person, you take away what actually, made the game unique and different. As soon as you make it third person, it just becomes every other platformer. Like the first person aspect really, gave the platforming a lot of momentum and flow. And that's what I really liked about it. And, Tob CY Zob. I've never been able to pronounce your name, bud, and I apologize for trying to pronounce it like that because I failed epically, and I know I did. Yeah, so over the last 3 years, what games you play and what games do you like the most? Do you only play on PC? 3 years, that's kind of a very specific time frame. But actually, the game that I like the most over the last 3 years has actually I've played it pretty recently. It's a couple months ago, actually, is Life is Strange. And people might think like, oh, that's just a walking simulator. And I would be inclined to agree with you for the most part. But the minimalist interaction is enough to make it a game to me. What happens in that game is, you actually get attached to the characters. And I honestly thought that the narrative was just stupid. And I was like, well, I might as well just give it a try. It seems kind of dumb, being a teenage girl in high school or whatever. That's the last place I want to go is back to high school. Like, and in a teenage girl's shoes, like, what would this offer me? And to be honest, it's a really, really it actually makes you feel. Like, it touches those feels, you know that feel, bro? I know that feel, bro. But yeah, it's one of those games where I can actually relate to it on a personal level in many aspects. And that's what really made it a different experience. But if we're going to be talking about what people would consider, I'm using quotation fingers, games, like games that play like quote unquote games. Honestly, one of my favorite, like my absolute favorite game has actually been Super Hexagon. And people will be like, wow, that's a weird choice, Blizz County. And I'll tell you what. I spent 60 cents on the game and I got 20 hours out of it. And that's pretty good value. But the thing is that it's without a doubt some of the most addicting gameplay I've ever had in a game. I just can't put it down when I pick it up. The only time I'll ever put it down is if I'm getting really frustrated at, which I never really do. And Long Nugent asks, do you upload every day? Well, it's pretty apparent now I don't upload every day. I used to throughout the summer, but with school coming around, I've slipped up a little bit. You asked the question when I did upload every day, so at that point, yes, I did, but now I do not. So I'm going to try to remedy that a little bit. Maybe not daily uploads, but more, frequent uploads rather than you guys being in the dark for a week. And I apologize for that again. And Samuel Lee asks, what accent is the narrator speaking in again? Where is this accent from? And is this the narrator's natural accent? Now, I remember you asking this on my Alpha 11 Let's Play. And I didn't have an answer for you, or maybe I did, and it was just kind of like a little bit of a joke. I can't remember exactly. But what accent is the narrator speaking in again? I am in Canada, so perhaps I am talking in a Canadian accent. Very fun times. I don't know what other accent I'd be talking in. Where's the accent from? Probably from Canada, I would assume. And is this the narrator's natural accent? Now, that's a really good question because I have no idea. What I typically like doing whenever I'm, recording my voice is kind of do tonal shifts. Like I'll be talking like this and stuff will happen when I'm talking like this. And then or I'll talk like this or, something like that. Or I'll decide to, go all Hank Hill on you like I did before and say, I'll tell you what. Yeah, absolutely garbage Hank Hill voice. I'll tell you that for sure. But, yeah, this is my natural voice is what I'm speaking to you with right now here. The other voices are me just having fun, and that's the name of the game, having lots of fun. So aside from that, I got one more question here. It actually arrived in my inbox of all places. I'm going to navigate over to my inbox. And here we go. It's from Chris Cook. And it was actually in a very long personal message, which I would say, Chris Cook, I really liked reading that message. And I still haven't replied to you, even though I wrote something and I forgot to reply to it. But his question is, for the Q&A session, I'd like to know what you do for a 9 to 5. Right now, I am a student. When you asked the question initially, I worked, just a standard, slightly above minimum wage job, just, renting out equipment for people at a complex. It was work, stuff to do for some extra green, you know what I mean? But yeah, right now I am currently a student. I am a senior electrical engineering student, and I can't wait to be done. I can't wait to get out and start making some serious green and buying our editing rig that doesn't suck, because my computer is kind of Takes about 30 minutes to render a video when a new rig could probably render it in 10. But aside from that, those are all the questions I've got. And again, I'm going to try my very best to make some content for you guys. I've been neglecting the channel a little bit, and I apologize. I do have a few episodes of a Roller Coaster Tycoon Let's Play that I've preloaded on here that I will, 2 episodes. I'll release them today and tomorrow. And I'll try to record some content while those are going up as well for you guys for RimWorld. And aside from that, have a good rest of your day, y'all. I'm going to wrap this video up here. And this is Blizz County signing off.